Ashley Nguyen is here to show us how we can use technology to build our wealth. Ashley, good to see you. How has tech changed the way we manage our money?
Hi, Tracy. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about all of the things that technology can do for us in creating financial freedom, the ability for us to do some research, be able to get out there and make quick decisions and implement them really quickly. So I've come with a couple examples of how, from a personal finance perspective, we could use technology to put ourselves in a better financial position.
Lovely. Okay, what's the first example?
So my first example is actually about personal finance management. So that's, the budgeting, the spending, that kind of thing. And so if I take us through the journey, let's think about when our parents back in the day would actually use pen and paper to kind of track our spendings, what we do, money in, money out, all the way to when we used to have those bank books that we would take to the ATMs to print out our bank balance. So we've come a really long way from there. One way that we've actually gone in the direction of is Excel, right? I love Excel. I think I've said this in one of my previous segments, but we are, using Excel and technology to track and understand and do calculations and formulas and that kind of thing. And to fast forward a little bit, we actually have now apps that we can download on our phone, on our iPad, that go ahead and allow us to understand what are we doing, what are we spending our money on, and how do we save money and hit our financial goals better. So some examples in Canada could be You Need a Budget, YNAB, or Mint as an example. And we actually have this thing called aggregators now, where companies will actually take your bank data, link them in with these apps, and use artificial intelligence to actually categorize and track them. So it gives us the ability to better understand how to manage our money. So this is a really good example of how technology has taken us, cradle to grave in a whole direction that's a little bit better to understand.
Even with all the tech help we have and all the apps we have, Leo and I are still fairly old school in the sense that we're still quarterly going through all the money coming in and all the money going out and typing it on a computer. That's the only thing that's advanced about it. But I guess, use whatever is going to get your money down on paper. What is another reason to use technology for finances, Ashley?
Let's think about investing. That's a really good example of how technology has taken us in a little bit more of a financial freedom direction and given us a little bit more autonomy. So if you think about how we used to invest in the past as regular consumers, we would walk into a branch, say, hey, I'm looking to invest my money in X, and I want to see it grow. Oftentimes, you'll sit down with a financial advisor. They'll go through different mutual funds. And by the way, a mutual fund is basically a collection of stocks that would be packaged for you, bought and sold behind the scenes, and it's just convenient and easy for you to go ahead and purchase a mutual fund. But it does also cost a little bit more money. Now imagine if you had the ability to go and invest that money yourself and buy the stocks within that mutual fund. I mean, you can do that, right? So now technology has allowed us to actually go and directly buy stocks ourselves. Good examples of companies could be Robinhood, Questrade, Wealthsimple is another one. So you can actually go and buy the stocks yourself, which is a really exciting advancement that we have as consumers with technology.
It is so easy to buy stocks now through an app. I'm even doing it with the help of my husband, but it's super easy with the app. So they've made it, technology has made it all very convenient, hasn't it, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely. And so as I had mentioned before, I think one thing that we need to think about is when you buy a mutual fund and you're buying these stocks, buying the mutual funds, there's someone behind the scenes actually on the trading floor at the bank, buying and selling throughout the day to make sure that your risk profile is intact, meaning, you have an opportunity to buy a mutual fund that's less risky or a mutual fund that's more risky. There's someone there helping you with that. So that's kind of daunting for people who's doing it themselves, DIY, buying stocks. I know you mentioned you have your husband helping you. Some people just feel like they need that support. So technology has actually taken us to a point now where we can actually do robo advising. So what's robo-advising? Basically, there's artificial intelligence, in other words, AI, helping you decide what the stocks should look like throughout the day. So you actually have technology buying and selling these stocks for you. And this is with all the different apps and the companies that make it possible for us. So again, technology has taken us to a totally different direction.
Wow, using AI to invest money. Very interesting. Now, are there other examples where we use technology to advance our way of banking, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's think about how we pay. Back in the day, it was cash, right? So we would take cash, pay our friends, pay people, even pay your landlord. Now there's an opportunity for us to think about how technology has advanced us to the next level. Let's talk about the apps on our phones as an example. Apple Pay. You can now double click the side of your phone and actually just tap your phone at a point of sale system, our little terminals, and pay money there. Now, the very last thing I want to mention is also the different applications that allow us to send money to our friends. That's, again, a newfound thing that we have. So you can actually do Venmo or PayPal. These are examples of how we can actually move money because technology has allowed us to do it in a better fashion.
Really interesting how convenient it is, but also it's creating a divide in a way because folks out there that aren't digitally literate, they basically have to catch up. Great information though, Ashley. Thank you for that. And it's amazing to see how far we've come.